Once again, this is Bhaskar Jyoti, and I am right now in central London. And with me, there is Jayesh Jotangia, sir, who is a solicitor here, and he has worked a lot upon caste issues in the United Kingdom. Sir, welcome, sir, for this interaction.
Thank you very much.
Sir, just to apprise you about this interaction, I am Bhaskar Jyoti, a research scholar at Jawaharlal Nehru University, and my PhD topic is caste among the Indian diaspora in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And I have come to know that you are secretary to All Party Parliamentary Group (APPG) of British Hindus, and you were very active when this legislation was brought in the United Kingdom in the House of Commons Parliament. So, sir, I would like to know from you how long have you been living in the United Kingdom, and what is your experiences regarding caste in UK?
So I was born here in the UK. Been born and bred here in the United Kingdom, so I've been here all my life.
Yeah.
With regards to experiencing any caste, I've never come across any incident or instance of caste that I've been involved in, or any of my family members, to be honest.
Sir, true. If there is no caste in the United Kingdom, then then why this legislation? Why what the need to bring a separate legislation for caste as it is there in the India? As it is there in India, why was there a need to bring same kind of legislation in UK as well?
I think it's important to understand and appreciate that there are focus groups who want to make it a point, who want to bring caste into the United Kingdom as a protected characteristic.
Okay.
And so they were very focused, a very determined group who did all their best to make sure that this word becomes a word that is now discussed amongst the Indian community. So there was a drive, and I would necessarily say that it was a drive from initiated in the UK, probably from India itself, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, while talking to the people, I have come to know that there is an organization called Dalit Solidarity Network, which has published so many reports of caste-based discrimination that I have myself underwent. Myself undergone in India. Now, this Dalit Solidarity Network has formed another organization called Caste Watch UK. And when I saw the trustees of DSN as well as Caste Watch UK, I found most of the Christians being its trustees. And I have come to know that there is a church in Wembley which openly talks about converting Dalits especially or Hindus to Christianity and offer them some kind of benefits which are available within the Christianity. So, sir, is it an effort to convert the so-called depressed sections among the Hindus to Christianity and give it a caste-like of appearance?
You have to first distinguish in what sense is a particular sect, a particular community within the Indian diaspora in the UK, what are they so oppressed about? Because from what I've read and whatever I have seen, if there is any acts of discrimination, which is probably minuscule, and it's to do with a minority element in the United Kingdom, which are people who have migrated over from India, who have kept these caste issues, traditions alive, then there is legislation in place in the United Kingdom without it affecting now third, fourth generation Hindus, Indians in the United Kingdom, where the concept of caste is completely foreign to us. It's irrelevant. There is no discrimination on that basis as far as I'm concerned when I was growing up, or my brother or my sister. Okay? That conscious effort is there probably, in my opinion, to break and fragment our society. And if there is this minuscule caste discrimination happening, which there's only one or two cases which have been dealt with by the authorities. When I say the authorities, I mean the legal system. When they've been dealt with by the legal system, it's been adequately dealt with. It's not as if you need to have bring up another word, put it into legislation, because it is not being adequately dealt with. It has been. The courts have proven that, and that's my opinion. So if there is a particular group that want to create that, I say that group, it's whatever they're trying to fight, is naturally going to come out of Indian society within the next 5-10 years. And in fact, there has been no case in the employment tribunal in the last 5 years or whatever. I haven't seen a case in the employment law jurisdiction.
Sir, according to 2011 census data, there are around 2 million Indians living in the United Kingdom. So, according to your rough idea, what percentage of that Indian diaspora might be affected with such kind of caste practices? Any rough idea?
I wouldn't be able to say. I think there's 1.2 million Hindus, maybe 2 million Indians. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
In terms of if they're, I probably less than 1%. To be frank, there are criminal laws, there are employment laws, there are all sorts of laws that cover,
Yeah.
Any type of discrimination on any level.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the point. There's no, as far as the United Kingdom, you can only legislate on laws when it becomes an epidemic problem or is a problem that's on the eruption of becoming a very big problem. This is not a problem in the United Kingdom as far as I'm concerned.
Sir, there is already an Equality Act which was brought in 2010 and it deals specifically with racial discrimination in the United Kingdom. But there are some provisions dealing with other kind of discrimination also. Do you think Equality Act should be sufficient to deal with such caste issues, or case laws should be adhered to in next such kind of discrimination?
That's exactly what case law established.
Yeah.
That the Race Relations Act, the Equality Act, with the word, I think it's race, there are several protected characteristics, gender, race, ethnicity, for example. Caste falls into that, and that's how the Employment Tribunal was able to deal with the caste discrimination case.
Sir, is it true that caste-based discrimination is more prevalent among Sikhs? Because I have the place where I am living right now these days, in South Hall, there is separate Gurudwaras for Ravidasis, which is believed to be one of the scheduled caste among Sikhs. Do you find any such separate temples among Hindus also in the United Kingdom?
No, categorically no. I can say that as a matter of fact. There is nothing like that at all. I've never seen it. I can walk into any mandir I want to, and no one asks me what caste I belong to. I don't ask them what caste. It's a non-issue. We don't discuss caste. I don't know what caste I belong to be honest. I don't know.
Okay. Sir, one more last question about this point. This legislation, this anti-caste legislation was brought with the efforts of Labour Party. And Labour Party has specifically taken some kind of anti-India stand in the United Kingdom these days, because I have seen their stand on Kashmir that they have taken recently. So do you think that, sir, there is any specific lobby group which is pursuing this caste legislation to be brought in the United Kingdom?
I'm not sure about, from the groups that you've mentioned, Caste Watch, Anti-Solidarity Network, etc. Maybe they're the groups behind it.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah.
The caste legislation was being tabled, trying to become a protected characteristic while there was a coalition government.
Okay.
So it's not just the Labour Party that culprits, I would say the Liberal Democrats as well.
Yeah.
The Conservative Party, I would say, took a very neutral stance, but a stance which was in favour of British Hindus like myself,
Yeah.
which was very good. They could see that this was a non-issue, and so in order to bring the word into legislation, could all of a sudden you make an issue out of a non-issue, which wouldn't have been fair or reasonable under the circumstances. But Liberal Democrat Party were also behind this. With regards to the Labour Party, yes, there's an anti-India sentiment. Only recently they passed the recent resolution on Kashmir.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, the British Indians in this country are dismayed.
Yeah.
Do not understand that at all.
Yeah.
There's no reason for any Western country to interfere in the democratic process of India. So there would be pressure groups behind them, but to tell you who those pressure groups are, I don't know.
Sir, National Council of Hindu Temple says that if such kind of legislation is brought in the United Kingdom, then it would further perpetuate caste issues among the next generation of diasporas, who even do not understand what caste actually is. So, if this legislation is not brought, and what would be, like, you have actively worked for this behind this legislation. So, I would like to know what would you do in coming days if such legislations are again attempted to bring.
Well, we can only apply pressure to our local MPs and councillors to make this into, an issue. I don't want to make it into an issue, but make the fact of bringing caste into legislation an issue for us as a community. You also have to understand that the lies that were being bandied amongst, even within Parliament, when these matters came up for debate, our peers, which are House of Lords members, certain MPs, they were quoting numbers such as there are 400,000 cases of caste discrimination in the UK.
There are not even so many Indian diasporas.
Well, it just baffles you.
Yeah.
So all we can do is put these facts to the legislator.
Yeah.
We can put these facts to authorities that are drawing up curriculums to do with Hindu Dharma or Hinduism
Yeah.
or anything to do with India. And the more people that get behind this and actually put facts and say, okay, you think this is such a problem, you want to legislate on it, well, let's discuss this properly. These are the facts, actually.
Yeah.
And as I've said, the recent case law, which had the Turkey and Chandok case, which happened in the Employment Tribunal, there's been no cases in the employment law, in the Employment Tribunal after that case. That's probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Thank you, sir, for giving.